It's a windmill for pumping water, the way it used to be done before electricity. The function of these was to pump water for your cattle and your horses without having to be around. You could turn them on and water a big herd and shut them off after everything got water. Otherwise, you stood there and pumped the water by hand. But it didn't take much wind to make them run. It's tin and galvanized iron, tin that I've cut up and shaped, soldered together. Just the challenge to take a piece of iron and make something out of it. I spend my mornings and afternoons out in the garage, making things. I'm a thing maker. You know what a round to it is? Everybody should have a round to it whenever I get around to it. Our dad made us kids a rocking horse when we were still on the farm at Abernathy. He made it all of wood, laminated it together. The whole issue. He made us a wagon, just like the big ones, and a sleigh, a bobsleigh. So I guess that's where it all started, was watching him do stuff like this. And anybody can do it.
What do people say to you after they see not just this piece, but your other pieces that we'll be looking at? What do they say when they see it?
Well, some of them say, "I can't believe it," and they shake their head. Some of the other stuff that I have will make you wonder. Like I've got 4 steam engines. They're all electrified. One of them is capable of steam though. And 3 separators, a baler that'll actually bale grass clippings. I have 7 or 8 cats. The first piece would be the steam engine capable of steam. It took me about 15 years from start to finish. Some of the saddles have found their way all the way out to Esterhazy. This is a grand piano, a jewel box, really. My sister had one years ago that her husband sent back from Korea. But hers was a little fancier. And I got to thinking I should be making something like that. That's how they came about. It's basically all made of hardwood that I've laminated together and bent. And I made sure when I made the keyboard that there was 88 keys. Okay, what you're looking at now is a stone boat. Originally, they were built for hauling used hay or manure, but they had many different purposes. Hauling stones, you didn't have to lift them too high to get them onto it. A team of horses usually pulled them, or a single horse. And then you dragged your stone boat over and threw the rocks into a coulee or into a slough. But you cleared the land, you got rid of the bigger rocks so you could farm it. It's just something that I had scrap lumber around. I never throw anything away. That's my biggest problem. It's trying to figure out something to do with it. Well, right now, like I say, I just finished making a hummingbird feeder. I want to make a couple more of them. This is a birdhouse built for a wren. But I found out recently that maybe these are a little too small for wrens. They like a bigger house. Seeing something, a finished product that actually looks real. That's what I like. Baby carriages. The idea for these came from a guy brought me one with wooden wheels on it. It didn't look right. He says, could I do something with it? So I put metal wheels on it, or spoked wheels, and figured I should make a couple for myself. The body itself is made out of tin, and the wheels are made out of welding rods and welding wire. A wheelbarrow and a wagon. Well, I had the thrashing machines and I needed pitchforks. So I started making pitchforks, and then it kind of branched out into different things. You're looking at a hay rack on a wagon. I used to pick up all the hay by hand and stack it or throw it in the barn, in the loft. There was a lot of work in putting up hay. You had to bind the stuff first, cut the crop with a binder, tie it in bundles, and then stook it. And then you went out and picked up the stooks with a pitchfork, hauled them to the thrashing machine and unloaded them. This is mostly hardwood, and frame is all hardwood, and the wagon's all hardwood. The spokes and the wheels are bamboo. There's a pitchfork and a 5-tine. The 5-tine they used to use for manure forks. But the pitchfork has the curve in the tines. You can see them. When you picked the bundle up and when you turned it over, it fell off. Well, we'll start with the axe. A lot of axes were used for splitting firewood and making fence posts. A lot of trees were cut down to just use for heat. And the walking plow, that's the way the prairie was broke. With a walking plow and a team of horses or an oxen. And of course everybody knows what the anvil was used for. These are what they call chain boomers. They're for tying down a load on a truck. And this is a traveling block for a crane. You run 6 lines on it. Ice tongs. And this is what they call a 5th wheel. Well, I used to overhaul them when I was working for Federated Co-op. The first saddle I ever made was years ago. I whittled one out of a block of wood. I'm a thing maker.